off to the side on the camera here. I guess I'll move over.
Yeah, I don't know why that's
There
the
we
way
go.
it is. That's just the way it is. Things are never gonna change.
I wish I had a piano right here so I could
That would be sweet.
plunk the keys.
That's just the way it is. Things are never gonna change.
All right, well, I guess. There we go.
Surprise, surprise.
Hi, everybody. nice to be back in the fancy studio. Welcome, everyone, to this week's Nerd Radio. Wherever you're getting your podcast as part of the B-Pod Studios Network and all over your social media at Nerd Radio 101. I am your host, Chuck Bean, joined by my compatriots, my co-hosts, my buddies, Al Beck.
I'm here.
And James.
I've never been someone's co-patriot before.
I know.
Congrats.
It sounds like there's a lot of responsibilities that go along with that. Like, you know, the best man at your wedding. Like, what do I have to do as your co-patriot?
As a compatriot?
Yeah, or compatriot.
Yeah.
Whatever the word is. I've never heard it before.
I think it's something like Hamilton era. That might be where I picked it up.
Oh, you're watching Disney Plus,
Oh,
huh?
yeah. No, I watched Hamilton.
Come on, sing us your favorite song from Hamilton.
Oh, no. La da 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 ya da da da. I love the King George guy.
That's pretty good. It probably sounds much better on Disney Plus, though.
It sounds way better on
yeah.
Disney Plus. Absolutely. It's weird that you put me on the spot and said, sing your favorite Hamilton song, and that didn't immediately pop in my head because it's been in my head for like a month now.
Really? Well, I'll be honest. I don't think there's any other person in the world I would say, sing me your favorite Hamilton song, too. So.
Well, I appreciate that I'm the one.
Yeah.
Now I
special
feel like
place in my heart.
I feel like I did homework and I was rewarded for it.
Yeah, you paid off.
That's
It's
awesome.
like giving the dog a treat when it goes potty outside.
Yeah.
You guys want me to leave you alone or something?
It's just a love fest.
Al, you
in
sing
here,
me
Al.
your favorite song from Hamilton, then.
I haven't watched Hamilton.
Okay, sing me your favorite song from MASH.
Through early morning fog I see.
He knows the words.
I
The
didn't realize
suicide
we're
is
so
painless.
musically talented here.
Yep. Absolutely. If we sound better than we have for the past 3 months, it's because we are actually officially back in the Checkpoint XP studios.
Am I meant to take that personally? I've been the audio engineer over the last several months.
No.
No, I think your
it's-
audio and Chuck's audio sounded fine, but mine sounded like I was talking to you through a butthole that was trapped inside of a tin can.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Not a tin can
Yeah.
butthole.
Another one of those tin can butthole mics.
If anyone should take offense, it's Craig.
Yeah, creepy
Who's been,
Craig.
who's been
Oh, yeah.
recording us the last couple of months. He should be taking
Creepy
offense.
Craig's been recording us. Dude, your conversation off mic last week, which people can check out on your social media, James,
Yes.
Yeah.
makes so much more sense now. Creepy
Yep.
Craig's been recording us.
And now he's unemployed. Suck on that, creepy Craig.
I'm sure there's plenty of. I know for a fact I have at least 2 other podcasts where Craig is still our recorder. So
He's unemployed by us.
yeah.
For now.
One of the first robots to get unemployment.
We will see.
I bet Craig got paid more than we did to continue doing this show.
Well, absolutely.
Yeah, he probably did.
Or about the same if it's freeware.
Yeah. All right. Well, we are here to talk about all things nerd, everything, whether it's comic book, video games, pro wrestling, whatever it is. If it's something that we are interested in, we're here to rant and rave about it and either tell you that we love it or we hate it. So let's start.
I do a lot of hating on this podcast, I think.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Well, that's your role on the podcast.
The hater?
Yeah.
Wonderful.
The old-timey curmudgeon.
Right.
Who said that?
Yeah.
I hate them.
Item.
So let's start with the pro wrestling. This weekend was WWE's Extreme Rules. James, I'm assuming you were watching.
I was half-assedly watching this time
Yeah.
around. There wasn't a lot that I was super stoked about watching, and the stuff that I was stoked about just really left me with a bad taste in my mouth.
Well, that's kind of why I wanted to bring it up, because this year they called it the horror show at Extreme Rules when they probably should have called it the shit show
Yeah.
at Extreme Rules. It was 2.5 hours of my life that I can never have back. And obviously wrestling, like a lot of things since COVID, has changed. We talked about it, I think, on this show, how they've been doing the empty arena matches. Now they've moved it to some of the developmental talent is the crowd.
Yeah, they got some randos in the crowd.
Yeah, and they've got like the hockey glass up for everything. But they've also been doing these like matches where they'll film it cinematically. So then they did the match with the Undertaker at WrestleMania,
Yeah, the
which was
Boneyard.
amazing.
Yeah,
but
very well done.
It's been a very much diminishing returns every month when they've decided to do more of these matches. Each one is a little bit dumber than the last.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I was super pumped about was the cinematic match, which finished out the show, which was going to be Bray Wyatt and Braun Strowman.
Yeah, I was excited to see what they're going to do with that as well, because I really didn't think of it in terms of what you thought about that type of match when it was Bray Wyatt versus John Cena.
Right.
And you loved it. I was like, that was the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
Sure.
But then once you put your spin on it, I found like a bit more of a newfound respect. So I was trying to look at it through your eyes.
Sure.
I was looking really forward to it, and I was like, what the? I give up. I can't. I can't do it. But the Boneyard match was one thing. It was fine.
Boneyard was great, man.
So maybe my issue is the cinematic matches and Bray Wyatt, or Bray Wyatt / The Fiend.
Right.
Like, is he Freddy Krueger? Like he's some
Wyatt,
kind of entity that haunts your dreams?
Amy brought this up to me when I told her about how they were doing this, because Bray Wyatt has gone through, for those of you who don't watch wrestling and don't know who we're talking about, and Al, Bray Wyatt has gone through this progression where he started out as this like swamp wizard / cult leader, and then has metamorphed into a split personality where he will do these segments like he's on a children's show, like he's Mr. Rogers, and he's wearing a sweater vest, and he's got his dreads all tied up in the back, and he smiles a lot, and he talks to the kids, and he waves, and it's really funny. But then he has this alter ego called the Fiend, which looks like, you remember when the Joker got his face tore off in the comics?
Yes.
A couple years ago?
Yeah.
He's got a mask that looks like that.
Okay.
And he's got a really creepy entrance, and
I think you've told me about the Fiend. He's kind of like the next Phenom, the next Undertaker, right?
Yeah, he's
kinda
like the
same...
next big creepy dude.
Yeah.
Well, he has now, for this particular match, morphed back into his swamp wizard cult leader character so that he could fight Bray Wyatt in a swamp.
Braun Strowman.
Or I'm sorry, fight Braun Strowman in a swamp, because Braun Strowman used to be part of his cult.
Well, that changes everything for me, though.
He's like, who's Braun Strowman?
I don't know.
He could be fighting Cookie Monster.
Right.
For all I know.
But Amy's the one that pointed it out. He must be a huge Mick Foley fan.
Yeah, because he's got the 3 characters.
He's got these characters now that he can switch between.
Yeah. And I think he pulls the characters off well. Like he's good at being each character. But I just feel like the WWE doesn't really use him.
No, it's
in
like
an
they
effective way.
They don't know exactly how to. The one thing I was hoping for, which did happen at the end of it, was the Friday the 13th ending, where you think everything is fine, and then the monster comes out and grabs the girl out of the boat.
Yeah.
And that's what, like, Braun was climbing out of the water and was like, oh, I made it. And then the Fiend comes up and like, rah, and grabs him and pulls him back in the water. And that was how it ended. So as far as we know, Braun Strowman drowned in a swamp at the end of Extreme Rules Sunday.
I wonder what swamp. I want to go find that Universal title.
Yeah.
But that's worth some money.
I will say I do enjoy when you've got a wrestler who has multiple personalities like that, because I feel like at that point WWE is actually stepping outside of themselves and having fun with the fact that it's sports entertainment.
Yeah.
You know, because I mean they embrace the fact that they're the ones who coined the phrase sports entertainment, that it is predetermined and yada yada yada. But I feel like when I was watching back when Mick Foley had the 3 characters, and
Dude Love,
there were
Cactus Jack,
Cactus Jack,
Mankind.
and of course Mankind, and it was kind of like, yeah, it's the same guy. Like they didn't even try to hide it. And I remember there was a Royal Rumble that Mick Foley was in 3 times as each character.
Oh, that's right. I totally forgot about that. Yeah.
Dude Love came out, and then like 10 numbers later, Mankind came out.
And it's like at that point, it's like, yeah, it's not a competition. Like we know who's going to win this thing. Like we let this guy play 3 times.
That's fun. That's one of the things that I find the most fun about the Royal Rumbles, when somebody comes out, you're like, yeah, that guy's not winning.
Yeah.
Sometimes I get pissed, especially when it's near the back 30.
Yeah.
When it's like, R-Truth, he's never going to win a Royal Rumble. Why is he number 29?
Yeah.
Well, I love when a guy comes running in and just gets thrown right over the rope.
Immediately, yes.
They were in the ring for 3 seconds.
I think that happened to, was it Grandmaster Sexay or Scotty Duhati, one of those?
I think they were one of those. Yeah, one of those
Look.
guys. I know that it happened to Santino Marella.
Okay.
He has these shortest. They bring it up every year. He has like a 3 seconds in the Royal Rumble.
Dude, I would love to
slid
be
in the
known
ring
as
and
the
get
guy.
clotheslined right out, and he's like, I wasn't ready. The one I can never forget, though, is I just talked to somebody on social media about it yesterday. The first pay-per-view that I started watching wrestling again was the Royal Rumble in the year 2000, and they still had Kai and Tai, Taka Michinoku, and Funaki. And they came into the Royal Rumble 3 times, like Mick Foley. And the second 2 times, they weren't actually in it. They just
I do remember that
the
one.
buzzer would go off and they would come out from under the ring and jump back in and then
Yeah.
immediately get thrown out. But Taka got thrown out and landed on his face on the floor and had to get carried out. And it was a bad landing. It was
wait.
It was a lot like that.
Look at that, the drop.
A lot like that. But the
yes.
other horror show element to Extreme Rules was Rey Mysterio
Oh, yeah.
was fighting Seth Rollins in a match called an eye for an eye match.
Okay.
So to give you a little backstory, about a month ago, Seth Rollins lost his marbles during a match and grabbed Rey Mysterio and drove his face into the point on the steel ring steps.
Now, Seth Rollins is the wrestler that the action figure I have in my office downstairs is on the
Okay.
speaker.
Yeah,
That's what
yeah.
Seth Rollins looks like.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's got the
Give you
beard
a-
and the long hair.
Gotcha.
He looks a bit. We've called him CrossFit Jesus forever because he loves CrossFit.
Perfect
And he looks
description.
like Jesus, so he's CrossFit Jesus.
Yeah.
Well, he went crazy and he drove Rey Mysterio's face into the point of the thing, and they've played this angle for the last month or so where Rey Mysterio has lost sight in the one eye. So now he's got like a little black covering over that part of his mask to, like an eye
Sure.
patch.
So all the
Yeah,
luchador
yeah.
masks that he puts on, there's like a black webbing over that eyeball.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So Rey Mysterio came back a couple weeks ago and challenged Seth Rollins in an eye for an eye match where the only way to win is to extract your opponent's eye from their skull
Okay.
Yep.
because sports entertainment.
Yes.
And on Sunday, he lost that match. We were leading into this match because
Rey Mysterio lost?
Rey
Did he
Mysterio
lose?
lost.
Is he without any eyes now?
Well-
is he completely blind?
he let me get there.
Oh my God!
So, we were speculating going into this match that because they've done these cinematic matches, that they may even use CGI on this eye for an eye match
Sure.
to really pretty it up and make it look like somebody really lost an eye. Because, come on now, people aren't gonna really. People sacrifice a lot on their bodies for professional wrestling, but if you told a wrestler, "Look, you're gonna have to be blind in one eye for the rest of your life," I think they would draw the line.
I
there.
think I'm going to
yeah.
go to AEW.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Unless they got Shia LaBeouf in there as a
Oh,
wrestler.
yeah,
he would do it. He would do it.
Take the eye.
Do it.
right.
Take the eye. What are you waiting for?
Didn't he just tattoo like his entire upper
Yeah,
body
it's-
for
it's-
something that's going on?
Yeah, like he
for a
got a
movie he's doing right now?
legit huge tattoo for a movie role. So that's
really
why I
bad.
brought him up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really
So
bad tattoo.
Yeah, I think he would.
So history repeated itself at the end of this match, and Seth Rollins was driving Rey Mysterio's face into the steel steps. There was no blood. However,
I would think an eye extraction would be rather bloody.
Yes.
that's what you would imagine.
Yeah.
But
I'm no doctor, but
Ray was after I don't know, like 10, 20 seconds of, putting his face on the point of the steel steps, Ray was screaming, my eye, and Seth backed off, and Ray grabbed his face, and I don't know if you guys can see this, but there was a tweet with a picture. He palmed a fake eyeball.
Oh, I didn't even realize they had that.
No,
My
I didn't. When I
goodness.
was watching it at home, you didn't really see the fake eyeball, but he palmed a fake eyeball and put it next to his face. And the commentators were the ones when you were watching it live that Ray backed off and he palmed that eyeball and he put it out, and then you heard Samoa Joe go, "It's out! The eye is out!"
Oh my
kind of
God.
thing. And then Seth went back to grab Ray and noticed that something was wrong and backed off and then threw up.
Yeah.
And that was how they finished the match. And then medics came and carried Rey Mysterio off with his fake eye.
the only person who could have sold the eye being out was JR. I'm just saying.
No,
By God!
By God! A man has lost his eye!
He
My-
has been permanently blinded.
To this day, my favorite Jim Ross call was, I think, after Undertaker threw Mankind off of Hell in a Cell. My God, they've killed him!
They killed him! They killed him! You know why he did that?
I think we need that as a drop. My God, they've killed him!
You know why he did that is because no one told him that.
I know,
was gonna-
yeah,
so-
we've talked about that before.
Yeah, that's a legitimate reaction of oh my God, they've killed.
yeah.
My company has killed a man.
Yeah, and that guy too was he was in charge of the wrestlers in a lot of ways.
Yeah,
he
he's
was,
talent relations.
yeah,
He's
so he was he's basically like the HR guy. Just saw someone throw someone off the ring, and it
But
wasn't
also, I
supposed
think
to
that
happen.
happened after the Owen Hart thing, too.
That was before
That was
Owen.
before?
Yeah.
That was
Oh,
before
okay.
Owen. So I'm
Never
sure when the
mind.
Owen Hart thing happened, it was even
Yeah,
Just like
oh, this isn't the first time something like this has happened.
my favorite story about that, which I probably told you before whenever it's come up, but my favorite story about that, Mick Foley told in his book, is that when they went backstage, him and The Undertaker, Vince McMahon's words to him very, very calmly, not in this big Vince McMahon voice, very calmly, is like, Mick, I can never thank you enough for the sacrifices you have made tonight alone for my business, but I never want to see that shit again.
Yeah. He loved it and he hated it so
Yeah,
much.
exactly. That was amazing. Don't you ever do that again. Are we still recording?
Yes.
Okay, I saw
Yeah.
you peek over. I'm like, oh, no.
Uh-oh. Was that me or?
That.
I don't know.
Oh, we got a new follower, I guess.
Hey, cool.
Hey,
So many new followers. They
Sweet.
keep making all these noises.
I don't recall Twitch ever making noises on there.
we got him a follower.
Yeah.
Take that, checkpoint.
Suck on it, Robbie!
We're paying our bills for being in the studio by getting them followers.
Well, we just got a follower. We didn't get a subscription.
That's true.
Oh,
So, but you know
wow.
what? We appreciate you following.
Yeah, thanks, Spooky.
Yeah, you're awesome.
Two zeros and an O.
So yeah, Rey Mysterio lost an eye on Sunday, and then I was like you, James. I
I like how you just casually said that. So Rey Mysterio lost an eye on Sunday.
know-
Anyway, James.
I was much like James. I felt like, man, that was awful.
Yeah.
And I didn't even really tune into Monday Night Raw, but I did see online that they had an official medical update saying that the optic nerve was not damaged, so that Rey Mysterio with surgery will get his eyesight back.
Oh, for
Which is-
crying out loud. They come up with the dumbest cover stories for vacation.
Oh,
Jesus
so
Christ.
stupid.
It's just so bad. Like, did anybody even believe like he was really gonna lose his eye?
Right.
Like nobody was buying into anybody actually losing an eye in this match.
Not to mention the fact that they made it a point to let us know that the way to win this match is to extract an opponent's eye from their eye socket. Like, this is ridiculous. And that wasn't even the dumbest thing that we got to see. I just remembered.
It got worse.
Okay, so there was a women's match where one of the outside, like the manager essentially,
I'm sorry.
when the
I'm
referee...
not even going to say the joke that popped into my head. All right, go ahead.
when the referee went down, took the referee's shirt off and put it on themselves and then counted the pinfall
Yeah.
and then got them to ring the bell. And I'm like, that doesn't count.
And then another wrestler just came in and deemed himself the champ because the other wrestler, I think, technically has COVID. But is claiming to be injured, and he just took the title.
It was a really dumb show.
Yeah, I was like, what?
Wow.
Like, what?
Just utter chaos.
What do we want? I was like, what do we want?
I mean, now let me say this. There's a lot of neat stuff going on in wrestling right
Yes,
now, but
absolutely.
Sunday night was not any of it.
Not a highlight. that's
Like
for sure.
getting to see NXT. What Keith Lee just won the
Yeah.
heavyweight championship on NXT
Yeah,
a couple of
the
weeks
champ
ago in a friggin' amazing match. AEW's been killing it. They've got some neat stuff going on. What was it? Freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy just
Yeah,
fought Chris Jericho
yeah.
and dumped a whole bunch of orange juice on him from the ceiling, and that was really funny. That's an Attitude Era kind of thing to dump
Sure.
liquid from the ceiling on him or something like that. But
Liquid from the ceiling.
liquid from the ceiling.
ceiling.
Sometimes it's green slime. Sometimes it's orange juice. You never know. Sometimes it's poop.
That's
the
the
only way to find out is a taste test.
perfect tagline for this podcast.
Sometimes it's poop.
Sometimes it's poop.
I also wanted to bring up on a much sadder note that I read a report last week that the New York Post is claiming that Ric Flair's wife currently has COVID.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's what
And
I've heard.
That's hopefully she gets better. There's been a couple of people in WWE that the little interviewer Kayla.
Yep,
She's gotten
it
co-
twice.
Yeah, she's gotten COVID twice.
Yeah. Renee Young had it.
Yep.
I'm surprised that didn't get spread over to Mox.
Yeah, and I was surprised to see Renee Young on Sunday during like they've been doing like their pre-shows and stuff like that, but everybody's just like doing it like we've been doing Nerd Radio, just from home,
From home.
Mhm.
just with a Zoom camera. But we hope A, that Ric Flair's wife gets better soon, and B, that Ric Flair doesn't get COVID.
Yeah, well,
Right.
From what
That
I
guy's-
understand, I believe he's living in his basement of a 3-story home.
That guy's really old, man.
Yeah,
I don't
like-
want him to.
He was already almost dead. Was it a year ago?
Yeah.
I
Yeah, he
remember
had
it
that
was
heart
like
surgery?
it was Ric Flair Death Watch.
Yeah.
Well, and kind of as you were just saying, though, James, that he may be fine because his house does cover 2 counties.
Right.
So
yeah,
he's
exactly. He's living in the basement, which is at least a quarter mile away from
exactly.
the rooms with the person with COVID.
Got to take a
so-
subway to get there.
Right.
Find him over at Space Mountain. While the ladies are lined up to go for a ride.
Oh.
Now that's when you should have dropped the woo.
Woo!
There we
it
go.
is. All right, well, we're going to take a short break after complaining about wrestling. There's some cool stuff coming up on streaming services, and what else do I got here? I knew I had something else. Wrestling. Oh, some video game news. All right. Yeah, it's a great tease. Aren't you glad we're back in the studio?
Yes.
Here comes Nerd Radio with more.
Here it comes.
Here it comes. All right, we're back with more Nerd Radio on the podcast page, WRIF.com. Also in Boston.
Rock929rocks.com. And also now in Fort Myers, Florida as well.
What?
At 96krock.com.
I had no idea we were in Florida.
Al's expanding the territories here for Checkpoint XP.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Breaking down barriers.
So welcome Fort Myers to the Nerd Radio family.
Yeah, we're happy to have you. Also, you can find us, at least for the foreseeable future, I would imagine.
At least for the rest of today.
At least for the rest of today. On Checkpoint XP's Twitch stream. James, where's that?
You can find that over at twitch.tv/checkpointxp.
My name's Chuck Bean, joined, of course, by James and Al Beck for another week of Nerd Radio. And, guys, does anybody other than me have access to HBO Max?
Yes.
Okay.
I do not.
Because they announced this week that they are going to be taking the Harry Potter movies off of HBO Max at the end of August.
Uh-huh.
Not because J.K. Rowling has been tweeting bad stuff, but because of the way the licenses work.
Contracts,
Yeah, exactly. Which is weird.
Legalities.
I feel like, wasn't that one of the things that they really put up front? It was like, hey, we're going to have this, and we're going to have this, and we're also going to have the Harry Potter movies.
That was one of the things. Big
Right.
Bang Theory's on there. Friends was one of the big selling points. All the DC stuff.
Yeah.
So
it's a little strange that within like a month and a half.
well, the whole thing is kind of weird the way it. That stuff is being taken down already.
Mm-hmm.
It's only a couple months old at this point.
Yeah.
So it's weird that any sort of contract was that short.
However, they are adding things.
Unless it was already part of HBO.
I was going to just say that it was all the Harry Potter. Harry Potter. Now there's a wizard I would watch.
Harry Potter.
Harry Potter. The
That
wizard.
sounds disgusting.
Yeah.
That sounds like a level.
wizard.
That sounds like a
Yes.
level of Mario Brothers.
Well,
I do not want to see.
That's what I was going to ask. If all the Harry Potter films were already on HBO,
I think so.
so they just lumped that in. And they just
Yeah.
happened to launch HBO
Yeah.
Max
Right.
right before the contracts expired, and all the Harry Potter movies go to another cable network.
Now, is that a potty named Harold, or is that like a messy trim job?
I think it's a Harry
That's a
messy trim
really
job.
disgusting toilet.
Well, I guess it could be that too. Like maybe somebody trimmed their pubes and used their manscaper over
Yeah,
the toilet.
you open that stall door and see Harry Potter, and you're like, nope, I'll hold it.
Yes.
No, thank you.
Or the Chewbacca Outhouse.
Both rough scenes to walk in on.
Ooh.
Oh, God.
You're praying for one of those little wax paper sheets to put over the seat. Either way,
Yeah.
Yep.
you might need two.
Well, they are adding some stuff to I almost said Disney Plus, to HBO Max next month. They're getting rid of the Harry Potter movies, but they are adding in the 1989 Batman movie, as well as its
The Batman movie.
the
Batman.
Michael Keaton Batman movie, as well as its sequels, Batman Returns, Batman Forever, and Batman and Robin.
Rabin.
Ooh, Rabin.
So if you've really been wanting to see Batman and Robin, it's coming to HBO Max. But the good news is they're also putting the Harley Quinn movie on there, which I haven't seen yet. So I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Birds of Prey?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Isn't the Harley Quinn show is moving over there as well? Or
Yes,
something
they're
like
putting
that?
both
the
seasons,
cartoon, right?
both
The
seasons of the
animated?
Harley Quinn
Yeah.
show, which is exciting because you can't access the DC universe on anything other than like a tablet or a computer or something. Like I can't get it on my PlayStation,
Oh, really?
so I can't watch Harley Quinn on my TV.
That really limits them to reach their audience.
It
You'd think
really
they'd expand
does.
that. Let's get with the times, man. You should be able to access this on any kind of device that's
If you're gonna launch
friendly.
If you're gonna launch a streaming service in the last 3 years, you'd better have apps for the Xbox One and the PS4.
It's really weird the way some of those streaming services work because it is available. I've got an Apple TV. That's what's in my living room, and you can get the DC app on that.
okay.
But it's weird how sometimes there's exclusives. You know, like I like History, which has been covered on the show.
Right.
And History Channel has got their streaming service, their History Vault, which is all the old documentaries that, you know, they used to play.
And Al's the only subscriber.
I'm the only subscriber. But you can only get that on Apple devices.
Oh, okay.
So it's like, I don't know if it's a contract that
Right.
will just run out eventually and it'll open up, but it's just weird when stuff like that happens. Or HBO Max, I've got that on my Apple TV, but like Friends TVs or my girl's TV, it's not on there on the smart TV. But it also just updated and added Peacock, so it's like, I don't know what the deal is. You know,
Right.
It's not like the TV is just obsolete, so it's just
I
weird.
think you're right. It's got to be some sort of streaming like legalities or something.
Yeah, it's weird.
Exclusivities.
Because I tried to sign in on her TV, but instead I just do AirPlay from my phone.
Well, yeah, that's like I've got that Shutter service, and that connects to Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
So because Amy has Amazon Prime and I do not, her Amazon is logged in. But if I try and use Shutter on the TV, then it will just sign her up for Shutter instead of accessing mine.
Oh, okay.
Well, try doing the AirPlay thing from your phone and just like stream it to your TV or whatever.
Right.
Try that. See if that works. If anyone else is trying to watch their DC whatever on the TV and they can't, try that.
Right.
Because that's how I watch HBO Max at her house.
Okay, so 3 things came to mind while we were just talking right now. First of all, James,
Really? Because I wasn't thinking at all. I was just talking.
yeah, you just rattle off at the mouth and just whatever comes out comes out.
He's a loose cannon.
Yeah.
First of all, James, there's more than just Al watching the History Channel. I mean, it's a funny joke,
Yeah.
but that there are more Al Becks out
absolutely,
there.
yeah. That's a scarier thought.
Right, that there are more Al Becks out there
Yeah.
watching the History Channel.
Watch
and
the thing about
MASH.
Andrew Jackson over the weekend.
Do they all love MASH too?
Right, that's what I'm saying. And the second thing I wanted to bring up is, can you imagine a convention
Of Al's?
of Al Becks?
Oh my God!
An Al Beck convention. I'm
That
not
would
saying
be-
I'm not saying it would be like Al jumped in a cloner
Yeah,
and they
no,
would all
I
look.
can tell you exactly what it would look like. No one would fucking be there because no one wants to be at a convention if you're me.
Oh, fair enough.
It
I
would be an
guess.
empty
Come on.
room. It would be an empty
Damn.
banquet hall.
If they had like all the surviving members of MASH and Starship
Both of
Enterprise,
them?
and they have a Starship Enterprise where you can take photos with with your fellow Star Trek fans, and then there's a room, instead of playing anime in the room or horror movies, they're just playing the History Channel, and you can go and hang out and be with your people.
I like the idea of an Al convention.
Yeah, you'd be there.
I don't know.
It's better than an intervention.
It's true.
Yeah,
An Al convention.
I think that just
Hey,
quickly.
are you going to Al convention this week?
Al convention.
Alcon.
Alcon!
Yes, Alcon 2021.
Yeah, the intervention I think immediately follows the Alcon.
I'll
We've
set
been-
up a booth. I got a bunch of old timey goods I can sell you.
We've been
Snake oils.
I've been talking to Ken downstairs about doing. I've discussed it with you guys a couple times, doing like a nerd radio convention because no comic stores or no comic conventions. I'm going to tell him tonight before I leave today that I want it to be called Alcon.
Oh God, no! See, that's the thing.
But then we got to get that guy from MASH that I had the in on. The
You had-
80-year-old man, remember? Was it? Oh no, it was the 80-year-old guy from Star Trek. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
that's
okay.
right.
But we
yeah.
still get him. He's
So
old
cool.
man. Yeah, I think you and Al, you and
Yeah,
him
it was
can.
Chekhov, I believe. Yeah.
Maybe I don't remember.
Walter Koenig.
He can you, we'll just be sitting there on Zoom saying, "Can you say nuclear vessels for me?" Just one more time, nuclear vessels. Well, talking about streaming services too, it was announced last week that Netflix is grabbing the license to Usagi Yojimbo. He was
That's a great name.
yeah, well, it's Japanese for
Sounds like a sandwich.
It's Japanese
does.
for rabbit samurai.
Okay.
He is the samurai bunny rabbit that showed up in a couple episodes of the Ninja Turtles cartoon
Oh.
back in the day.
I remember him.
Yeah, well,
his
he,
action figure.
Yep, exactly. He was his own comic book, but he was a funny animal comic, and the guys from Ninja Turtles liked him. So they're like, hey, do you want we can do a figure for you of Usagi, and we can put him in the cartoon for a couple episodes, and people will hopefully see your comic. He's an independent comic. He's been doing it since the late '80s,
Wow.
and Netflix has decided, currently published by IDW. To grab it. Usagi is interesting because it's a comic where it all takes place in feudal Japan, but everybody is different animals. So there's like, Usagi walks around on 2 legs and everything like that, but there's like pigs and dogs and cats and foxes and stuff like that, and all the different animals. Most of the ninjas are like bats and cats and that kind of thing. So
It's Bat Ninja.
it's ninjas and samurai, and it's coming to Netflix probably next year. So I'm excited to see
It'll be an
that.
That's
animated
pretty cool.
series.
It's going to be a CGI animated series, and
Oh,
it's supposed to
CGI.
follow what they're saying. They said in the press release it's supposed to follow probably the son of Usagi from the comics,
Okay.
so that they can go in whatever direction they want to.
Think there'll be any Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle references in there, or is
I
it
think
just
it'd
such
be
a small portion?
I think it would be really weird if there wasn't.
Okay.
Because even the last Ninja Turtles show that was on Nickelodeon that I loved in 2012, in the last season of that, they did a couple Usagi Yojimbo episodes where they went back to feudal Japan.
So there must be buds. We should have asked what's his face, Kevin Eastman, about him.
Oh, about Stan. Yeah, Stan. I think it's Stan
February.
Sakai that does the comic. He's been doing. It's one guy. He writes and draws it, and he's been doing it, like I said, since the late '80s. So it's kind of awesome that he's finally getting his own
stuck
thing.
with it for so long. It's finally starting to pay off.
Yeah, but I'm excited to check that out. I'm also excited about a couple of video game stories that we're going to get to in just a minute here on Nerd Radio. I ask you guys, and you can think about it for a second. What is the most amount of discs a game you've ever played has come on?
4.
4? Because it doesn't matter what the number is, I can top it.
Okay.
With the game that just came out.
I would probably say 3 or 4. How many discs was Myst when that first came out?
Oh, Myst was a lot.
I don't know.
Myst. I want to say Myst was maybe 3 or 4.
Here's my question for you. What generation of gaming is the one that you're about to talk about?
It's a PC game that just came out.
A PC game that just came out. So they can probably fit a lot of information on one of those discs.
Yep.
Yeah, if you use like a Blu-ray disc.
That's right.
Yeah.
Because like a game that used to be like over 3 discs could be on 1 Blu-ray disc.
Yeah. Like how many discs was Final Fantasy VII?
3. The original.
The original. How many is it now?
Oh, the one that just came out was 2.
Oh, wow. It's still on 2?
There was an install disc and then there was a play disc, which is what Grand Theft Auto does too.
Okay.
My God. What could this game be? And furthermore, what computer game is still coming on a disc?
Yeah, it's not a direct.
It's not a download.
Also, here's a tease for the next thing as well. We talked last week about Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah.
About all the clowns because
clearly your last tease was good enough because we're already talking about it.
Yeah.
Because they hadn't gotten a patch.
Yeah.
Another game just got patched last week and hasn't seen one in 2 decades.
How much are the protesters playing that game and still giving them money?
That's coming up next on Nerd Radio. All right, we're back with more Nerd Radio, wherever you get your podcast, as part of the B-Pod Studios network, and of course on your social media at Nerd Radio 101. My name's Chuck Bean, joined by Al Beck and James for this week's Nerd Radio. I posed the question before we went to break of what's the most amount of discs a game ever came on. Al said 4 discs for Final Fantasy VIII, and I forget, James, you said like maybe
3 or 4,
3
whatever.
or 4.
Missed. I think I've played Final Fantasy VII. I think that was 2 or 3.
That was 3. Yeah.
Resident Evil 2 was 2. Yeah, I'm not a big disc guy, I guess. I'm a 1 disc man.
I was gonna say that's funny because you like all your stuff on physical media too. You don't like your digital stuff. Which Ghoul just tagged us in something yesterday that Untitled Goose Game is getting a physical release.
Oh, really?
It bums me out because I spent my money on the digital download. But
I know,
I still love it.
You can get it for the PS4 for like $20. You can get it for the Switch for like $35.
And I think it comes with like the no goose sticker.
It
Like there's
does.
some stuff on that I'm like, am I gonna drop $20 on this again?
Yeah.
Just
I
so
can answer that
have the
question for
face?
you right now. Yes, you will.
Yeah.
You're going
I
to.
want the no goose sticker.
It's a matter of time.
The
Put that on the door to my streaming room.
The thing that's fascinating about it though is that it's being put out by Skybound, which is Robert Kirkman's comic book company. Like I had no idea they did video games.
Yeah, they also have a deal with Dr. Disrespect too.
Do they?
Skybound?
Okay.
Or whatever.
Yeah, I mean they put out a lot of stuff. If you go on their website, they put out books and they put out a whole bunch of stuff.
I don't even think that the Walking Dead game came out via Skybound. It was Telltale.
If you go, they've got the Telltale game on the Skybound site. You can buy the physical copy of it.
Interesting.
But the game that I'm looking to tell you about comes out on the PC, and it's Microsoft's new flight simulator game that just came out. Most people understand. Have you ever seen somebody that is into the flight simulator games?
No.
Because I remember, Jesus, this has to be like more than 20 years ago. I was doing some house painting for somebody, and it was an older couple, and the gentleman loved Flight Simulator, and he had this set up in front of his computer that was like from, as far as my arms can reach of all the buttons and the switches and the dials and stuff like that.
An actual cockpit?
Yes.
Wow.
To play this Flight Simulator
That's
game.
amazing. I want that.
Is it amazing or sad?
Probably
There's
both.
a lot of time and money put into making a makeshift cockpit just to play it.
Are you trying to tell me that it's sad that I find it amazing? think that's cool. Can you imagine having that? I mean, it's not that all. It's less of a setup than a VR, but that's what's so cool about the VR is it puts you in the thing.
Now with the VR, you wouldn't have to have that big old.
No. But that's what's so cool about the bridge crew to me is like you're on the bridge of a starship and you can push the buttons and all that stuff. Like I would love that console, man.
I'm looking to see because there's got to be those things still have to be. See, there's like flight sticks on Amazon, but there's not a full console like this guy had. But it had to be a couple $100. Anyways, this new one, I think.
I feel like a couple $100 is lowballing it.
Yeah.
A full setup? Oh, God, I can't imagine. That's the only thing that stopped me from getting it. That and the fact that I live in a tiny apartment.
Right.
That's like, get rid of the coffee table, put in my flight
Put
simulator.
Flight simulator in there. Sorry, hon, this is the flight simulator room.
We don't really need a guest bedroom. Let's just turn it into the cockpit.
And then I never had sex again.
Well, the new flight simulator is supposed to be around 90 gigabytes.
Holy crap.
You can, of course, get it digitally. Somebody liked that. I heard that noise.
There's something on the board that shouldn't be on the board, but it took us so long to get set up. Let's just leave
I'm just
it
leaving
alone.
it on. You guys can just make noise. Make a noise.
You got Rex Cranium 666 following.
Thank you, Rex Cranium.
I like it. I like that we can tell people on the podcast we got a new follower.
Yeah.
Makes us seem so much more popular. I think I can go in and turn this off if you guys want.
No, let's
No,
leave
you know
it.
what? I think it's this one. Because I've got the stream up. I think if I just turned it down, then it wouldn't be there. But
Let's just leave it.
I like that it interrupts our conversation.
Yes. And I like that we can't be professionals and just ignore it.
No,
That
not
we
at all.
have to address it.
But this new flight simulator game, this 90 gigabyte download, comes on 10 physical copy discs.
Oh my God.
10 Blu-ray discs to get that
In 2020.
In 2020, if you want a physical copy of Flight Simulator, it comes on 10 Blu-ray
They
discs.
have the manuals for every single airplane ever made since the beginning of time. They got the blueprints from the Wilbur and Orville Wright's planes. 10 discs. My God, what else do you need on there?
I think the flying washing machine.
Yeah. Was it microwaves, toasters that would fly from those screensavers?
Yes.
Anything that was ever taken flight, we have the blueprints for.
Yeah, the
how to build it and
original
fly it.
hot air balloon.
Yeah. Yeah, 10 discs if you want a copy of Flight Simulator. I have no idea what that's got to cost. But I would think, too, with the Flight Simulator game, that's probably why I don't play them. You would have to have the different planes in order to have, like, different levels.
Yeah, you think you'd have, like, single-engine airplanes, commercial, military-type plane.
Right.
Maybe they won't have military
And then
stuff.
the difficulty is probably weather. On the hardest
weather. Because I was gonna say, what are you gonna do other than they're gonna teach you how to fly a plane? They're gonna tell you, increase your speed, pull up,
right?
And then what?
If you figure out if you play Flight Simulator, you have to be able to land the plane in Nest Top Gun. You have to.
It'd be funny if you can't.
Yeah.
No, I still can't.
It's like playing Guitar Hero. It's like I know how to play guitar and I'm bad at this game.
Yeah.
What the F?
Right. It's impossible.
I played this song in front of my high school talent show, it killed. But now I'm getting kicked out. I'm getting booed off the stage by all these fake fans in this Guitar Hero.
Right.
Do we have a price tag on that simulator? Just out of curiosity.
Let me see. I just closed my window. So
Oh, well, it's not that important.
give me a second.
I was just curious. I mean, not that the actual how many discs make a difference, but
Right. You can pre-order it now,
mm-hmm.
according to the website here.
Already done. How much am I paying?
They don't have a price on it.
Oh,
no.
good. Just order it
What's
and
the
we'll
pre-order
surprise
here?
you.
If you have to ask,
$59.99.
you can't afford it. That's it.
$59.99.
Just considering how large that game is, I am surprised by
Yeah,
how.
me too. Because this is the same price as a regular game.
Yeah.
Includes 20 highly detailed planes with unique flight models and 30 handcrafted airports. Oh, you get to walk through the airports.
Oh.
How
The
nice.
worst part of flying.
Yeah.
If you want the premium deluxe edition, it's $120.
Do you also get a nasty head cold after you play it too?
Maybe.
For the recirculated air?
Yeah, that's if they really want to simulate the experience, your ears got to pop while you're playing it.
And it like spritzes you with airplane farts every so often?
Yeah. It really is a simulator.
Oh my God.
It's like an exact simulator.
Somebody had egg salad.
Oof.
Somebody's got their shoes off in the back. I smell those toes.
No, that's me. I'm sorry.
Oh.
Weird.
Damn it, Chuck!
I got so used to doing Nerd Radio with no shoes.
As long as you're wearing pants is the only thing that I'm worried about.
I'm glad you put on the pants and underwear this time.
Yeah. Well, I knew I was coming to work. I knew I had to wear a mask, so I definitely wanted to
You
wear
didn't
pants.
say anything about underwear, James.
Oh.
And we're not
It
asking.
could be free balling, yeah.
We're not
I
asking.
sneezed and unplugged my headphones because I didn't want to sneeze.
Oh, good Lord.
Into this mic.
Droplets.
Yes, please don't, because that's the mic I have to use on a weekly basis.
Okay,
for
yeah, no, I
things.
definitely want to. I'll sanitize this mic when we're done.
Well, don't sanitize too much, because the engineering might come for you.
Yeah, that's true. They don't like that. Well, another game that does not come on 10 discs, but finally got an update after 20 years is Worms Armageddon.
What?
One of the sequels to Worms, the classic game where you have
Like Snake?
No, you control the little worms and they have like the bazookas and
You
rope
talk
and
to me
stuff.
like I've played this game called
You've
Worms
never heard of
before.
Worms?
No. What
There's
the heck
been
is
so many
Worms?
copies of Worms. These little cartoon worms. You get a team of 4 of them. Everybody's got a team of 4 of them, and then you set the pitch of how you're going to fire and how much power you want to put behind it. Like if you're going to throw a grenade, and then you throws a grenade, and then it lands next to the other worm, and he goes ow, and then
Is this like what led to Angry Pigs or whatever?
Angry Birds?
Yeah, Angry Birds. Sorry.
maybe. Pepsi Man says Worms was one of the best.
I love
arcade-
Angry Pig.
Angry Pig.
No one's gonna make bacon out of me.
I'm a pig and I'm angry.
It's so pissed off.
I'm so angry I'm gonna go roll in this mud.
Porky's
I'm a
running around
pig.
with no pants on.
Yeah.
Yeah, but to celebrate the 25th year anniversary of the entire Worms series, Team 17, who created the Worms way back in the day, decided to put a whole bunch of fixes and changes and improvements into Worms Armageddon, which they apparently have not touched in almost 20 years. And nobody had to dress up as a clown to get that done. So congratulations to you guys.
Yeah, I'm guessing that Red Dead Redemption probably still hasn't done an update.
Probably not.
Probably has not even noticed the fact that everyone's clowns.
Right.
They're just like, oh, hey, they like that skin.
He's like, man, we are killing it with these clown skins. We are selling
People,
millions.
people keep buying these clowns.
Give us some more clown stuff.
I was gonna say, please tell me that the clown outfit's like $10, and they're like people are
Probably.
spending money on the outfit.
On the clown outfit.
Yeah.
That I
don't know
couldn't
about
tell
this
you.
Worms games guy. This Worms game guy. I don't know what I'm saying right now. I'm
Well,
so
James just
confused by
broke.
this game. Yeah.
You should try it. It was a lot of fun. We used to play a hell of a lot of it on the original PlayStation.
Really.
Yep, that was when the original one came out, and then they decided to make them more cartoony on the. I think it was still on the PlayStation when the sequels came out. I got Al into Transformers a couple of weeks ago with the Back to the Future.
Yeah.
Robot.
You piqued my interest. I wouldn't say you got me into
Oh,
Transformers.
you're so into it. You were texting me. You were like, "So tell me about Cybertron. I want to know."
He's like, tell me about who's Optimus Prime's girlfriend.
Right.
Tell me about Cybertron. Write the kids' book.
Yeah. So this week I'm going to see if I can't do the same with James. I think we mentioned this when it was coming out. You know, there's a Top Gun Transformer on the way.
Is there?
Yeah.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, no, they're taking the plane from Top Gun and turning him into Transformer, named Maverick,
Nice.
and
That's cool.
he comes with a volleyball.
Very nice.
And no shirt.
I was gonna say, does he go shirtless?
And he also has what's Tom Cruise's character? Is it Maverick?
Yes.
On a
He's
motorcycle.
Maverick,
He's got a
yeah.
little Maverick on a motorcycle that you can
Oh,
put with him. I got some screenshots for you here.
very nice.
There's the plane.
It's bigger than I thought it would be.
He is much larger than the Transformers typically are. Come on now. Where's a good picture? Yeah, there he is. He's got the
He's not as handsome as the Maverick
no.
from the movie.
He's got the helmet though, and that's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
He does have the same helmet.
It's a fake helmet. I want to get the full robot in here. Come on now. You can extend the
I want to
wings.
see him on the motorcycle.
Yeah, there he is playing volleyball.
Yeah, spike that ball.
All transformed.
Game point.
He's another one you got to order online. He's about $30, but
At least he's affordable.
yeah. He's not $800 like the scalpers with the Back to the Future Transformer.
You know, I think your best bet would have been the Ghostbusters Ecto-1 Transformers.
Yeah,
I think was that last year or 2 years ago?
that was last year. Yeah, you can still get him. You can go online and get him, but he's also $30. He's a little bit larger than what I would have expected.
Gotcha. Now that would be a perfect item for Chuck the Freak.
Yes.
The Top Gun
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he would pop a boner in his pants if he saw that.
If he saw a
Maverick Transformer.
right.
Now I can't wait to take the last 10 minutes of this conversation and edit it down to Chuck saying, I'm not used to wearing pants anymore. Then to James, he's bigger than I thought he was. And then Chuck, I'm trying to fit the whole robot in here.
Wrong hole, Jeff. There you go, Al. The conclusion to your masterpiece.
It's gonna be a real weird audio clip on it. Now we're just between the pedo bear thing last week and now this audio clip, we're just pushing the boundaries now. How much can we get away with before the people that officially own this podcast?
Well,
like,
we'll be
"No,
known
you
as
can't
the
do
real
that."
artsy nerd podcast. They're real artsy there with the stuff they do.
Yeah,
Just
exactly.
added another radio station's website to our list.
Yes, and now we're trying to get
even the
kicked
people
out.
in Florida are like, these dudes are weird.
When Florida says you're weird, Did you guys see this story about this little kid that saved his little sister from the dog, and all the different Avengers are sending him videos?
That's a nice story.
Yeah, it's such a great
it's unfortunate
video
for the kid, but very nice of him to save his girl.
Yeah, he got mauled,
his sister,
man.
Yeah, from a.
He's
a dog.
so a 6-year-old Bridger Walker saved his younger sister from a dog that was charging at her, and he got 90 stitches in his face, and there's still some swelling you see in some of the pictures and videos and stuff like that. But a bunch of people from the Avengers have been sending him videos online. Like the first one I think was Chris Evans, and that was super heartwarming. Which I'd ask it when it happened last week. I talked about it on the air, and I'd ask, has there been another actor in recent memory that has completely embodied a character like Chris
his
Evans?
role, yeah.
Like Chris Evans has become Captain America.
Johnny Depp with Captain Sparrow.
Really?
I think so.
You think he's
I think he thinks he's a pirate. He thinks he's a pirate. He's sailing the 7 seas. He's swashbuckling. He's battling Blackbeard.
Does he still wear like the pirate?
I think he's
rag?
upgraded like a hat. He's more like a steampunk pirate. With
Okay.
a top hat, like a Willy Wonka top hat from the movie.
Sure,
and
yeah.
His crazy
Willy Wonka
glasses.
pirate.
Yeah.
Weird scarves and stuff.
But so Chris Evans sent him a Captain America shield, like one of those big replica steel shields. Then Chris Hemsworth.
Is this kid strong enough to even lift that
He
shield
is
up?
not. At 6 years old, he is not.
He's going to think he's like really special when he's finally old enough and big enough and strong enough to lift that shield up. He's going to think it's like Thor's hammer. He's like, oh, I am worthy.
Right. Well, that was the thing. The Chris Evans video was really heartwarming, but then Chris Hemsworth sent him a video and like was just
It
talking.
wasn't like an Odin eye patch, was it? That'd be really inappropriate.
No, he was just he was talking to him and
But practical. It could be a very practical one.
Rey Mysterio could use one of those.
Yes, he could.
But he was just talking to him in like his regular Australian accent. He wasn't even like trying
as
to
Thor?
be Thor for the 6-year-old. And that's what I thought when Chris Evans was talking to him. Is like somebody better send him a Mjolnir. If anyone's worthy to lift Mjolnir, it's a 6-year-old that saved his little sister from getting mauled by a dog.
Yeah.
But then Tom Holland also jumped in and invited him to the set of the next Spider-Man.
Which he probably wasn't allowed to do.
Yeah, well, he wasn't supposed to talk about.
Tom Holland doesn't even get full scripts.
I didn't realize
he can't keep his mouth shut. He's just gonna bring this kid to the like. What the hell are you doing?
Yeah. Did we know that there was supposed to be another Spider-Man on the way?
I think so. I mean,
Okay.
with the way the second one ends, it implies that there will absolutely be a third one.
That would be hilarious. Like, God damn it, Tom.
Yeah.
Tom,
Would
you're
you
fired.
Shut up.
You're fired. We're not doing
Guess
any more of
what?
these Spider-Man
You're not
movies.
Spider-Man anymore.
We're gonna get Tobey Maguire back.
Yeah, Andrew Garfield's like, I kept so many secrets. They don't even know my name.
Yeah. Well, back to Chris Hemsworth. At least he played himself. It'd been funny if he did the call of the video as he's preparing to be Hulk Hogan.
Right. So if he did,
Great work, brother.
well, let me tell you something,
Yeah.
Chris.
Oh, dude, I saw something online. Speaking of him being Hulk Hogan, I saw something online where he was talking about how difficult his training regimen is to be Hulk Hogan. I'm like, are you kidding? Like, harder than Thor?
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Well, yeah, 'cause he's got to put on like
Like, what are you doing?
instead of looking chiseled, he has to just look bigger.
Yeah, and he's
Now,
a little
instead.
more swole. Because you need those 40-inch pythons. So hopefully he's going to bed saying his prayers and
Eating his vitamins.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Not saying some of the other stuff Hulk Hogan is now famous for saying.
Yes, hopefully he's not saying any of that
Woo.
stuff. Watch out, Booker T.
Yeah, right. But yeah, so Chris Hemsworth talked to him. Tom Holland called him, and then Robert Downey Jr. sent him an Instagram. He said he's not sending him anything. However,
That's a very Robert Downey Jr. thing to say.
I play you the video, but I don't think the audio would come over the microphones. But I've got a quote for him. He said, "Bridger, you're a rock star. My name is Robert Downey Jr. I play Tony, and that makes me an old friend of Cap's. And I heard he sent a shield your way, so I'm going to do one better. Call me on your next birthday. I got something special for you. Late. By the way, that's a promise, and a promise beats a shield."
Oh.
which is so Tony Stark, so Robert Downey Jr.
So he might get something out of it because that's.
Can you imagine if they're like putting together like.
Dude,
Like
Iron Man's
Iron
going to
Man?
show up to this kid's birthday.
They're
Yeah.
putting together they're putting together an Iron Man suit for like when he is 7. How cool
He's
that'd be!
getting his own Iron Man suit.
That would
It's
be so
7-year-old with his own Iron Man
Cool. Do
suit.
you think I'd fit into it?
I would love to see you try.
Well, that's the worst part too. I would think if you're thinking
Jarvis is like, dude, too much mass.
Yeah.
Too much mass.
if you're thinking ahead,
Oh, that's my epitaph right there.
actually you can't even do it because this kid is 6. He's gonna be 7 by the time he gets whatever Robert Downey Jr. is
Yeah.
about to send him. You remember how quickly you outgrew your clothes
Yeah.
at that age. Like, even if you're going to make him an Iron Man suit, he's going to outgrow it, and then he's just going to have this little mini Iron Man suit for the rest of his life. But you can't even make, you can't approximate what he's going to fully grow
No.
into. So you can't possibly
Yeah.
make him a proper Iron Man suit. I don't know what Robert Downey, maybe he's going to make him one of those cool gauntlets. Maybe,
Right.
Maybe you give him the glasses from Spider-Man
Yeah.
Homecoming.
I mean, he gave Chris Evans a whole car, so I think he can.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He's going to give this kid a car.
Yeah.
I want a car from Robert Downey Jr. All right. Well, I got one more thing to talk about, which is something you guys brought up. You talked about on the morning show, this Reddit thread of what are your top 5 most rewatchable movies? I don't know. Did you guys get to talk about it on the morning show, or is it
We
just
did talk
something
about it a little bit. Yeah, we just kind of went down the Reddit list.
Okay.
Yeah, the ones
You
that
know.
they had listed off. And,
Yeah, because they've got,
discussed.
like, I see right at the top, somebody said Memento, which that's a good movie.
I don't
But
know
is
how
it, like,
rewatchable
rewatchable?
it is. It
Yeah.
blew my mind the first time, and then it was cool to go back and see it again, knowing what it was. But I mean, and it's still good to rewatch, but
Yeah.
super
For me,
rewatchable.
Yeah, the most rewatchable movies are like 90 minutes, and it's usually a comedy, something that's
Mhm.
really easy to watch, get a couple laughs, and then you're done. Anything that really requires like a lot of thought,
Yeah.
Right.
or a lot of time and attention, to me, it's not a rewatchable movie.
I do actually think I have a number 1 rewatchable movie on my list. So maybe I can hit that after we go through some of the list. This
Yeah,
isn't like a Hollywood Reporter put together list. This is just people on
People on
a
Reddit
post.
just
So I mean, it's
It's gonna
nothing
be
behind it.
hugely due to whatever your personal opinion is, and,
Right.
like maybe what you find nostalgic and enjoy.
All right, so I've got a list of what, according to Men's Health, was the 20 most rewatchable movies according to Reddit. So I'm going to go through them, and you guys give me a yay or nay.
But okay.
Goodfellas.
Oh, absolutely. I love that.
Yeah, I could rewatch that, but it's not like one I would say. You
Again,
know what
it's
I'm
like a
gonna rewatch?
3-hour investment
Yeah,
of
I
time.
don't have that much
Right.
time.
Yeah, exactly. Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
I could watch that anytime. That is definitely a rewatchable one. It's kind of long, but
yeah. Of the Indiana Jones, though, I wouldn't say the bottom of the list. I've never even seen Crystal Skull, and I'm going to leave it that way.
Yeah.
Um,
Mean Girls.
never seen it once.
No?
No.
That's pretty fun. 10 Things I Hate About You. I don't think this is the room for that movie.
No.
I've seen it. It's good.
I've seen it too, but it's just it's a modern telling of what Taming of the Shrew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Into the Spider-Verse. That gets,
Oh,
I give that a thumbs up.
I know that's definitely extremely rewatchable for you. I
Yep.
could watch it again, but I don't think that makes it like a top 20 rewatchable
That's one I would
movie
need
to
to
me.
rewatch because I was too high when I watched it the first time to even remember
Oh,
what
man.
happened.
Ocean's 11.
Eh,
I don't think I've seen it.
I'm guessing it's the.
Oh, wait,
George
I've seen
Clooney
Ocean's
version.
11.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not the Rat Pack version.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
Brad
a
Pitt,
decent
George
movie.
Clooney.
I know I've rewatched it multiple times, but that's just due to it being on cable television at my
Yeah.
home growing
So I'm
up.
gonna say
Right.
no.
Shawshank.
Yes.
To me, no, I don't want.
I don't know that I've seen
That's
it.
not one I want to go back and rewatch.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's so good.
It was a good movie, but
so
it's-
good.
Pineapple Express.
Yes.
No.
That fits the criteria perfectly.
Which one?
90 minutes.
What's the which
Seth
which
Rogen
movie
is the server, like the process server, the court server.
Oh yeah, okay.
And then they smoked the strain of Pineapple Express
Yep.
outside the murder that they saw him and James Franco, and then
Yep.
they go on the lam and
Okay, yeah, I have seen that one. I don't think I've seen it more than once.
Thug Life.
Yeah.
Fight Club. Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, I can
I know
rewatch
that-
that one too.
I know I've seen Fight Club about. This one's a gimme for me. Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
It's a
See,
big
me-
old no to me.
Never
Yeah.
seen it.
Yeah.
I hated that goddamn movie.
Oh, I love that movie so
My
much.
roommate
They
hated
just-
it, so I never.
They
I
just
never
did
checked it out.
they just did a live stream too where they got a bunch of the actors and actresses together and did a table read
Yeah.
of it for charity. I still need to watch that.
I watched it on my own. Didn't like it at all. and then you lent it to me.
Yeah.
And I watched it again. Didn't hate it quite as much, but was so upset when I realized that the end of this show came from that movie.
That's funny.
God damn it, Chuck!
Was this movie based on a comic or a video game, or is it a video game based on a comic?
The movie is based on the comic.
Okay.
And they did make a video game based off of the comic as well to coincide with the movie, which was awesome.
But basically, he's living inside of a video game.
Yeah. That's what I used to tell everybody is like, it's like if a video game and a rock concert and a kung fu movie or an anime had a baby.
Okay.
I really don't like that Michael Cera, though.
He's always going to be the kid from Arrested Development.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, too, watching just seeing the first couple of minutes of that table read, he's got that mustache goatee thing going on. And, like, Michael Cera is going to look like Michael Cera forever.
Yeah.
Like, he's never going to actually grow up
into
an adult.
Goatee, or is it still that mustache he was rocking in that one movie where he played,
like a pencil
character, and then he played, like, the evil version of the character
It's
with
like
a
a
mustache.
pencil stash, but then he's got a little bit of growth down here. Like, not like I've got a whole bunch of, look at this, I got so much white. My beard. Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Yes.
Yeah, I've seen that.
That's a perfect one.
Seen that a bunch of times.
I'm sorry, I was looking at the chat.
Yeah, Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Yeah. It's not like a high on my list, but yes.
Right. Forgetting Sarah Marshall. I've seen that. It's good.
On the rewatchable, though, no.
Yeah. Harry Potty and the Prisoner of Azkaban.
I'm a no on any kind of Harry Potty movie.
Yeah.
It's a yes on me.
There you go.
I forgot. Yeah, you are a pothead.
I am a pothead.
Yeah.
The Star Wars
Harry Pothead.
The Star Wars trilogy is kind of a given.
Yeah, that's absolutely.
Snatch.
Yeah, I love Snatch.
I honestly don't know if I've ever seen Snatch.
Snatch is probably one of my favorite Guy Ritchie films.
Okay.
I honestly like Lock, Stock more.
I liked it too,
but Snatch is good.
I think Snatch because it's the first time I've seen a Guy Ritchie film done that way.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I went back and watched Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels, I was like, oh my God, Guy Ritchie is so good.
Maybe that's what it is because I know I saw Lock, Stock before I saw Snatch, and maybe it's whatever Guy Ritchie film you saw first is probably your favorite because you've never seen somebody put a movie together like that.
Yeah, and I feel like he took a dive after that because Rock and Rolla was never as good, and then he started doing stuff with Madonna.
Yeah, he did another movie called Layer Cake that was.
Oh yeah, Layer Cake was just okay.
Yeah. But it's a bit like was it Zack Snyder where it's like his first couple of outings you're like this is pretty neat.
Yeah, I think there's just so much time and effort put into the script and the story, and it was just translated perfectly to film.
Right.
And then the other stuff you probably just didn't have the time and the energy and the love. You know, those first films were probably made with love.
Probably. How about Superbad?
Yeah, I'm kind of over that movie. I could rewatch it, but I think so many bro dudes.
You
just
think you wore it out?
Crap out of it, you know?
Yeah.
Hey, McLovin. Yeah. Shut up.
I give it a no because I feel like it's not so much could I rewatch it. It's like it's on and I've got to see it.
Gangsters, what's up?
Yeah, so I'm giving that a no.
Shut up, McLovin.
It was good.
I'm glad I got a no from Al because I know I'm getting a yes on this one. Lord of the Rings.
No.
That's I love Lord of the Rings, but
you're rewatching it? Is it one of your most rewatched movies, Al?
I give it an eh.
That's also the response our listeners of this podcast give it. When they go to rate it.
That's why that's more people would rate us on Google Podcasts and Apple Podcasts if instead of stars you could just rate us eh.
Yeah.
It's not great.
Yeah.
And it's not horrible. It's eh.
Yeah.
Rated for mildly entertaining.
Yeah.
Critics say I've had worse times.
The original Alien movie.
I know I've seen it, but I don't.
I'll say I watched it just recently. Just the other day I watched that. As far as like rewatchability, I'm going to give it a no. Like I don't feel like I need to keep watching it again and again. But I will say this, that the Alien holds up. It still looks cool as hell.
Hell yeah.
Like I'll give it that. Yes. Yeah. Holy crap, does it still look good?
Yeah, I don't think it's on this
but like
list.
the storyline behind the movie, like I'd rather watch one of the other ones in the series. But so rewatchability, not necessarily, but it holds up. It's cool.
I don't know that it's on this list, but the original John Carpenter The Thing from the 80s, I've watched that a bunch of times, and that's another one where like those effects still hold up.
Yeah.
Kurt Russell, right?
Yeah. Still terrifying. Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? I have never seen that movie.
I've never seen it either.
Never have, probably never will.
No idea. Shrek.
Nah.
I could watch Shrek again, but I'm not
like
I'm
not
not gonna put it
for
on.
total like top
As
rewatchability.
a child, maybe.
That was at the end of it. Are there any movies that weren't on the list for you guys personally? I know the Back to the Future series. I just last week watched those again.
One that would not be on my list, but I had to bring up is because of all of us in the room. But when we did this on the morning show, one of the first ones that came up was Blade Runner, and you and I both, Chuck, just do nothing but fall asleep when we try to watch that movie.
I do the same thing.
Yeah.
not gonna
So this
happen.
whole room, I
tried watching it twice.
Yeah. I was talking to Chuck the Freak about it when we did this on the show because he loves that movie.
Yeah.
And I tell him, I keep trying because I know nerdy people love that movie. It's such a huge cult classic. And I don't know what it is. Maybe it was just slightly before my time. If I was, 10 years older, if I was Chuck's age, maybe. Well, then again, Chuck, you're right in that age range.
Yeah, it doesn't
So
work.
I don't know. I don't know what it is. That movie just doesn't connect with me. But I still feel like I got to try it again. If I need a nap, I'll put it on.
The original or the remake, whatever. I can't watch either one. I fall asleep. Either one.
My buddy Tim is a huge. He loves Blade Runner. He's from Bathroom of the Future, the singer from Bathroom of the Future. And I've told this story on Nerd Radio before, but it was one of those movies that I'm like, this is a pillar of nerddom. This is a pillar of cinema. I need to know what this movie is about. And put it on, and 10 minutes in, fell asleep. And then tried about 2 or 3 weeks later and got 10 minutes farther than I did the last time and fell asleep.
Yeah. And you know what? It frustrates me that I don't get into that movie because, like you said, it is a pillar of nerddom.
Right.
It absolutely is. And I'm not fighting that. It's true.
Especially,
but for some reason, I just cannot get into it.
Especially if you're a nerd of a certain age.
Yes.
That age being older than you and about my age.
Yeah.
Then, you need to have seen Blade Runner. You need to have seen Dune. You need to have seen, Labyrinth.
And Labyrinth. No, that's a good one.
And all these other movies. Princess Bride, I've seen a bunch of times.
Yeah, I've seen that quite a few times, too.
I saw that came up on the Reddit feed as well.
Or the Ghostbusters movies.
Oh,
obviously.
Ghostbusters, 1, 2.
It's
I
a
could
given.
watch. You know what? Honestly, I could probably watch the remake with the women over again. I just enjoyed that because I felt like I was watching a movie version of the cartoon, just with gender swap. A movie that's not on the list that I could rewatch anytime. Grandma's Boy.
Okay.
Which is
Would you say
a stoner video game comedy?
Yep.
Would you say that's your number one? I want to go around the room, and if you don't have an answer, that's fine. But do you have a number one? Maybe it's even come up already. A number one rewatchable movie, and the way I gauge it is if it's on, I lack the ability to turn it off, and I have to see it through to the end.
Grandma's Boy would be mine.
Grandma's Boy is yours.
I watch it anytime. If I'm you know what, I want to watch a movie, I will put that in and watch it. I don't know what it is about that movie, but I love it. I think it's so funny and it's so entertaining, and I can watch it anytime. If I'm in a bad mood, put it on.
I don't know what the name of the actor is. The guy that with the monkey.
Oh, one of the Adam Sandler crew guys. Yeah.
I thought it was Tony Danza when I saw Grandma's Boy.
He looks like Tony.
He looks like Tony Danza,
he's so
stoner
tan.
Tony Danza.
I know. I don't know them from that movie, but I know him in. I know him in Big Daddy and
he's one of the gay lawyers in Big Daddy.
Yep. What about you, Chuck? Do you have a number one?
Oh, it's got to be Scott Pilgrim.
Scott Pilgrim?
Off the top of my head, yeah. It's got. If I'm clicking through and Comedy Central's got Scott Pilgrim in, well, I know what I'm doing for the next hour and a half.
Yep.
I think mine might actually be Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because I saw that was in the Reddit thread.
Dude, I cannot.
I did not see that coming.
I know, probably people think the MASH movie, but
I figured you could say a White Christmas or whatever.
Another
old timey classic.
Yeah. But no, I think Forrest Gump may be the movie that sucks me in the most. I love that movie so much.
I feel like one of the precepts of this too is it has to be a movie that doesn't feel like an investment. Like we mentioned the Lord of the Rings movies or some of the other movies like Goodfellas, where it's like, oh man, I don't know if I got 3 hours for that.
Absolutely.
And because there are absolutely movies like
those movies you listed to me feel like an investment.
Right.
Yeah.
Goodfellas, I have to invest some time. Lord of the Rings, I have to invest some time.
Even Goodfellas, I watch Goodfellas more than I watch Lord of the Rings. But yeah, even that one's it's kind of a long movie. Lord of the Rings, I wish they weren't so long because I love those movies. I think he did a great job. But of course, being a nerd, I had to get the extended versions. Each movie's goddamn 4 hours long. When do you have 4 hours?
Right. And a lot of the Marvel movies fall under this purview of if it's on, I'll watch it again. I'll watch the Captain America series.
A lot of them is still an investment in time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true.
But that's what I was going to say. The Clint Eastwood spaghetti westerns.
Yep.
Like, I love all three of them. The whole trilogy, Man with No Name trilogy.
Yeah, Fistful of Dollars for a few dollars more, and Good, Bad, and the Ugly.
They are an investment, man.
Yeah.
They're
I've
like,
probably seen the Good, Bad, and the Ugly. The other two.
yeah. Which is funny because if you saw either of the other two, you have seen that plot in something else.
Oh, absolutely.
Which is amazing.
Yeah.
It's much like when I saw Scarface for the first time. I was like, oh my god, I knew Grand Theft Auto ripped off this movie. I didn't realize how much
scene
this
for
movie,
scene, yeah.
that game had ripped off, and it's the same thing. Like
every mission was a plot point in the movie Scarface.
yeah, the main plot of both For a Few Dollars More and A Fistful of Dollars is something I was like, oh, I've seen this.
Yeah.
I know I don't know how this movie ends, but I've seen this plot
You can
before.
predict it. I can make an educated guess.
Right. All right. Well, that's all I got for this week's Nerd Radio.
Nice.
So it's been great to be back in the Checkpoint XP studios. Thank you, everybody on the Twitch stream that tuned in Wednesday at 11:30, 12 o'clock.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can. Now that we've done this once, it'll go smoother next time.
Yeah.
Because we hadn't done it in about 3 months. But find us on social media. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, we're on Instagram, and we're on YouTube at Nerd Radio 101. You can find James with the Checkpoint XP guys.
Yeah. CheckpointXP.com for more information. You can find out if we're airing on a radio station near you. The nationally syndicated show is on 60 stations in North America, Canada, and America. So you can find out if we're airing on a station near you. Detroit listeners, you can hear us on Riff HD2 101.1.
Right. And Al was letting us know that you can find us in Boston and in Florida now.
That's right. And, of course, here in Detroit, WRF.com, Rock929rocks.com in Boston, and 96K Rock in Fort Myers.
Yeah, I just remembered as we were wrapping up, too, I wanted to give a shout-out to my buddy Ricky, who had me on his podcast last week, Spoiler Force podcast. So, it's not like you have a shortage of Chuck Bean to listen to, but there's an episode of Spoiler Force, if you go on Facebook and find it, that you can also hear me talking about comic books and stuff.
You can hear you talk about music, too, on WRIF. What is it?
Yeah.
Monday through Saturday?
Monday through Saturday,
Sunday?
7 to midnight. So
The last 20 minutes of this podcast brought to you by Shameless Plugs.
Yes,
well, hey,
absolutely.
We're trying to get more people to listen, Al.
Yep.
Thanks for tuning in. We'll talk to you guys next week. Have yourself a fun nerd week. Maybe New Mutants will come out.
Nope.
Maybe it won't. Never going to see that goddamn movie.
Chuck, there's a trailer for you.
Never going to see this freaking movie.
All right.
Stupid COVID.